Today I'm going to be discussing the question, does the Megalodon still exist? First, I would like to discuss the Summer of the Shark. In 2001, which was known around the world as the Summer of the Shark, approximately 76 humans were attacked and killed by rogue sharks. This led people to go on shark massacring sprees, severely diminishing the shark population. As an indirect result of this, the great white shark was added to the endangered species list. Also, other attacks have been blamed on other creatures, such as the Megalodon. What is a Megalodon? A Megalodon is a prehistoric shark that existed 25 to 1.5 million years ago. They hunted in many types of environments, such as coastal zones, lagoons, and deep water. Since we cannot observe this creature in its natural habitat, fossils are the best clues that we have. Their fossils of teeth suggest that the creature is between 60 and 90 feet in length. It became extinct in the Pleistocene era due to cooling sea temperatures and the reduction of prey. There is a lot of evidence for the Megalodon's existence. Our first piece of evidence would be the bloop. The bloop is a low-frequency, extremely powerful underwater sound detected by the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in 1997. The sound was unlike anything scientists have ever caught on camera. At first it was believed to have been produced by fin whales, but later it was concluded that it was too loud and unlike whale sounds to have been produced by them. Our second piece of evidence could be found in the Sea of Cortez. The Sea of Cortez, which is located just south of the California border. Locals claim that there is something in the water, and they refer to it as the Black Demon. They are saying it is around 60 feet long, dark, with a huge tail that whips to the surface before quickly diving away. Also, the Sea of Cortez has its deepest portions that drop down to more than 12,000 feet and houses large sea creatures which could be perfect food supply for the Megalodon. Most of its depths have not been seen by human eyes. They've only seen what lies at the surface, so we have no idea what could be hiding down there. Our third piece of evidence are extremely violent, unprovoked shark attacks. In Cape Town in 2010, it was reported that a great white shark the size of a dinosaur attacked and devoured a tourist. During this attack, the shark acted very unusually. It did not bite once and leave. It came back and carried on eating. Around the same time, other attacks of the same caliber occurred. There were brutal, unprovoked attacks with extremely large sharks and fatal outcomes. The behavior was also unlike the usual culprits, the great white, the tiger, and the bull sharks. There is also evidence against the Megalodon's existence. Fossils are our first and prominent piece of evidence. The largest Megalodon tooth found to date was 4.5 inches wide and 6 inches long. Fossils are tangible proof that this creature had existed at one point. They have been found all over the world, and the most prominent being along the mid-Atlantic states. In total, there are 182 fossilized Megalodon teeth on record. We have evidence that they existed in the past. However, we have no evidence of their existence in the present day. Another piece of evidence is food sources and the economy. The Megalodon's bite force is 10 times greater than that of the great white. With this strong of a bite, this creature could do some serious damage to anything in its path. Their diet mostly consisted of baleen whales and other prehistoric animals. Since they survived on mostly animals of the prehistoric era, which are no longer around, they would have had to find another source of food. If they found another source of food, we would see a change in our economy because of the amount of food that they consume. There are some other explanations of what this could be. Our first explanation would be killer whales. Killer whales have been observed in all oceans and seas of the world. They are capable of producing two sounds simultaneously at 4 to 5 kilohertz per second, which is around the frequency of the bloop. They are seen as apex predators. An apex predator is an animal that as an adult has no natural predators in its ecosystem. The killer whale is not as violent as the great white shark, which is seen to be the immediate ancestor of the Megalodon, but there are exceptions for all species. The culprit behind these attacks could very well be a killer whale. Another part of the explanation could be the unexplored parts of our oceans. Our planet is approximately 70% water, and most of our oceans are unexplored. The animal behind these attacks could very well be an undiscovered species. For example, there are animals that are said to only exist in myths and legends. The giant squid was one of those animals. Then on December 4th, 2006, one was caught alive by the Japanese. The giant oarfish was also thought to be just a myth until they washed ashore in Mexico and California. This shows that even though it may not be the megalodon causing these attacks, we may have no idea what it is because it has not been discovered yet. I conclude that the megalodon is extinct and not terrorizing our oceans. A creature of that magnitude living in oceans without detection, it does not seem plausible. Even though parts of our ocean have not been examined, most sharks surface at least once due to similar feeding habits. No one is exactly sure what is terrorizing our oceans, yet I conclude that it is not the megalodon. And then here are the references.